Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Avatar 2, the Simic Synthesizer deck with some replication tricks. We've come prepared for enemy men with some strategic bounce and a life gain artifact we've used frequently in previous decks. Add in some cards to help dig through our deck, and we have a contender. Let's get in there. We're playing the full set of Into the Flood Maw, the 1-mana bounce spell we can use to send an enemy back to the opponent's hand. We can gift a tapped fish token and bounce any non-land permanent. This is bounce we can use early to help defend our life total, or we can use it later to bounce enemy men and eliminate a blocker from the board. Stormchaser's Talent is a fantastic card that gives us an otter token with prowess when it enters play. That's a cheap blocker or a token we can send in for damages after we pump it. Taking it up to level 2 gives us an instant or sorcery back from the grave. This is a great way to get back a replication card or something that can help us dig through the deck. The level 3 option is not one we're likely going to use since replication of our factories is more important than trying to build up an army of otters. 3 Steps Ahead is a great card to play alongside our synthesizer. Synthesizer turn 3 followed by this to make a token copy on turn 4. It's a fantastic line that can step up the pressure on the opponent or give us options for blocking. 3 Steps Ahead also gives us the ability to counter, or we can use it to help dig through our deck. Doppelgang is one of our replication tools. We can copy our permanents or even the opponents if they have something we can use to help swing the game in our favor. It does need a lot of mana, so early on it's not effective, but later in the game, even a Doppelgang for 2 can make our board explode with robot overlords. Aetherize is our defensive measure. It's not quite a sweeper, but it could partially or mostly reset an opponent by sending their men back to their hand. There are no men that are immune to getting bounced since this doesn't target. It's also a card we can get back with a talent for a second go around if the opponent is being rather aggressive and we haven't had our robot overlords take over the game. Loko is absolutely Loko. The goal is to load up our board with our permanents, then fire off Loko's ultimate to make token copies of all our other non-land permanents. It might seem like it's going to take a while to build up to his ultimate, but we have a way to get him there right away. Doubling Season will double the counters that get placed on Loko when he enters play, so we can fire off his ultimate right away. And the bonus of having a Doubling Season in play, when we copy a permanent means we get 2 copies instead of just 1. Doubling up on synthesizers is great, but keep in mind that we also double up on robot overlords when they're generated. A factory with Doubling Season in play plus Loko's ultimate means we get an enormous pile of robot overlords. In those cases, the opponent is going to need a sweeper, or the game is over. GG's extra cheese, and thanks for coming on the big show. Virtue of Strength is an enchantment we've used before. Early on, we can fire off the adventure portion to get back a land in our grave, like the Fabled Passage. Once we have it in play, it will triple the mana we get from our basic lands, and that can help power out a huge Doppelgang to seal the game in our favor. The great part is, we can copy the Virtue with the Doppelgang for insane amounts of mana, plus we can even copy lands to immediately use the hundreds if not thousands of mana for even bigger Doppelgangs. For lands, we're playing 4 Fabled Passage, the special land we can sacrifice to fetch out any basic from our deck. 4 Willow Rush Verge, the island that becomes a dual when we have an island or a forest in play. 4 Temple of Mystery, the Simic Scryland, 6 Forest, and 6 Islands. Playing the deck is fairly straightforward. It's all about setting up our board with some of our early cards. A synthesizer early can help set up our draws to begin generating robot overlords. We have early bounce to send an enemy back to the opponent's hand and buy us a bit of time. The goal should always be to try to dig up a factory and then set up a way to make token copies, either with Doppelgang or using Loko. A Doubling Season with any of our ways to make token copies of our permanents usually results in a scoop. The numbers can be overwhelming. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games. We do have other cards to help out our Doppelgangs, both in making it easier to fire off, as well as giving us additional copies. The Synthesizer is our key card. The factory outlet is primed to turn out robot overlords at ridiculously low prices, and we even deliver to the opponent's face for free. All hail our robot overlords. Stock up is a bit of card selection on the cheap. We get to look at the top 5 and take the best 2 cards. We can get this back with a Stormchaser's talent and do it all over again right in front of the opponent's astonished face. Load up on ammo and fire with all guns blazing can give us the edge. Ancient Cornucopia is our ramp and life gain in 1 card. As a bonus, it will also trigger our factories when we play it out. It will help us fire off a Doppelgang, and we can copy it for the synthesizer triggers. The life gain can help us stay in the game while we build up our board. We do have some pricey cards to deploy, and a little bit of life gain along with the ramp can help get those down.
Do you want to play a game?
This is food, and food is meant to be eaten, like a pie. We're kicking things off with a 3-lander that's loaded with our ramp and life gain, plus a bounce and our token doubling machine. Our draws will have to be good, but this could work. Keep your pants on. We draw a talent, but this turn we want to play out our Scryland. That's a passage on top and we'll keep it. We'll play out our talent this turn. If they don't provide any blockers, it can score some hits. They use a removal on our token. We've already won this game. We'll play out one of our cornucopias. With the Horn of Plenty in play, we can drop in our doubling season on our next turn. We'll use the passage this turn. Maybe we can stop drawing so many lands and get some business. Then we can play out the season and be ready for when we can start generating tokens. Food throws down a Yuna, but they've got nothing in the grave to get back. I shed some tears for you, my bro. That's a factory we just drew. We can play it and drop our second cornucopia to get our first set of robot overlords. The AI men will be glad for the map tokens they've given us. On top we have a forest and a virtue. We don't need more lands, so we'll ship the forest. The virtue will be huge amounts of mana in case we draw a Doppelgang. The Horn of Plenty provides, and we get 2 robot overlords instead of just 1. They add a Dread Knight to their board. But Yuna is still just a decoration. I don't know about you, but I want my 5 drops to do something. We can play out the virtue, but let's use the growth to get our passage back for another go-around. Now we can focus on the enemy men on board. We know the Dread Knight would block up since they can then play it again from the grave and draw another card in the process. So we'll bounce it. They were not expecting that, apparently. Then we'll bounce Yuna as well. Get on out of here. They'll need to play out another land to be able to get both of their men back on board. Let's get in there. Our robot overlords want opponent flesh. Damages, bro. Damages. We'll end the turn by taking our talent to level 2 and get one of our bounce spells back. They're going to need 3 blockers, and I don't know if they can pull that off. They play out a tap land, so they won't be able to play Yuna and the Dread Knight. And that takes Yuna off the table, so only 1 blocker then. Bro poops it and scoops it. We'll smell you later. This is Yoda. No, wait, it's Yago. That's what he says when he passes the turn. Yago. We get a 3-lander with an odd mix of cards. I can see this ending up going nowhere. If we had something to copy, maybe we could keep. Maybe. Mull. Then we get a 4-lander with early plays. This is much better. We'll ship the Verge at the expense of being able to play out the Horn of Plenty on schedule. Keep your pants on. Our Scry land shows us a doubling season on top, and although we don't have any way to double anything at the moment, we'll hang on to it. The opponent plays out a bat of snipe a card, even if it's only temporary. They probably should take the horn, but you never know with these people. We'll go with our talent this turn. There's no chance we can trade with the bat, but we can at least keep them at 20 life. Their play is a slasher, and it looks like our token will be relegated to blocking duty. We draw another talent, and that will give us another token blocker. Let's play out the Horn of Plenty, then follow up with the talent. We could wait to play the talent out until after we drop in the season, but if they have removals, we'd be in a world of hurt. Let's not press our luck even more than we already have. They send it, and we'll throw an otter in front of the slasher train. I'm sorry, bro. We will avenge you. Bro has to stop and think about this one for some reason. All hail our 5th mana. This will let us drop in our season. But that's all the plays we got. It's Yago. They hit our otter with a removal, and now we'll be going on board the pain train. We draw an Aetherize, and that will give us another turn at least. Plus, we can get it back with our talents, and it could buy us more time. The opponent gives us a GG's, but there is plenty of game left to be played. Keep your pants on, bro. They add a Preacher to their board before they send it. We'll Aetherize their attackers, and they'll disappear into thin air. They go to replay their bat, but will bounce their Preacher. They can keep their clown car. Bat. They can keep their useless bat. We draw a Scry land and we'll play it out. On top we have another Aetherize. Bro will be happy to see it. It might even make him say GG's. But in a shocking move, we'll send it on down. We need something more than bounce. We can already get back some bounce out of our grave. They replay their slasher, but they don't have the mana to drop in their Preacher. You should draw lands, like me, bro. You'd be set. Of course, we draw a land. On the one hand, that does give us 8 mana, and we can level up the second talent, as well as fire off our Aetherize. I do take some time to think about this one. Which cards could we end up drawing that might be able to turn the tables on this opponent? We have enough to doppel for 2, and that could be crackers. But for now, we'll just grab our bounce. They send it, and we'll bounce their team. They'll get to replay the bat, but we would have still been at the mercy of our draws even if we'd bounced only the slasher. We draw 3 steps ahead, and we don't really have anything great to copy. The Cornucopia, sure, but let's level up a talent so we at least get a token if we have to make that move. They play out an annex. What they should have done was play out the Ritual Chamber and get the 6/6 demon token. Oopsie poopsie, bro. Their hits take us down to 3. The damages are getting to be pretty painful. Of course, that's a land. We'll throw it down. I did think about keeping it to fire off the draw on our 3 steps ahead and toss the land, but our draws have been absolutely awful. They go ahead and send it and even give us yet another GG's, but we're still alive. We'll copy and draw, and with that, we'll also get a pair of tokens. They hit one of our otters with removal, but that still leaves one. No, wait, they sniped that one too. We get another 3 steps ahead and a virtue. As much as the virtue would be cool here, we need the instant. That's going to save us this turn. Nobody cares about your GGs, bro. There is still game to be played. We get another pair of otters, and we'll block up with one. They might be out of removals, and they burned mana they should have used to unlock the Ritual Chamber. No way. We drew a stock up. That's 5 life and a pair of tokens with possibly more to come. We'll take the talent and we'll take Oko. That's going to be GG's for sure. This time the opponent will be right, but it won't be in his favor. Let's get the stock up back from the grave for another go around. That's sweet. We'll take the factory and the Doppelgang. Our board is going to explode. They are going to need 6 removals to get in with their slasher. Good luck, bro. They hit us with a duress at the worst moment, but they can only take 1 card, and no matter what, we will make token copies. They make us toss the Doppelgang, which is the easiest card to get back from the grave. I seriously can't believe they let us keep Oko. He's gonna go Loko. They drop another slasher instead of unlocking the Ritual Chamber. That would have been 6 damages in the air that we can't block. But yeah. Play out a slasher. We draw another Synthesizer. There will be factories this turn. We have a pair of lands on top, but we don't need those. Let's go for factory number 2. Get in there. We decline the life gain because we want to gain it with Loko. That's 2 life per cornucopia. On top, we have a virtue and a bounce. The virtue will let us run away with the game. For now, it's time to let Loko go Loko. They go for a snipe on Loko, but it's too late. We get his ultimate whether or not he's on board. Plus our otter tokens have hit lethality. They can only block 1. The poop it and scoop it before they see all the tokens pop out. Smell you later, bro. This is Arn Kettle. I use swords like that to shave, bro. You can't hurt me. We get a 3-lander with a Doppelgang and a good mix of early cards. I like it. Keep. Our Scryland shows us a passage on top. We'll keep it. They play out a hive. The toxic team has come out to play. We're not quite prepared for that, so this is going to be tricky. We draw an Loko, and although he's a late game card, it's good to see him now. They get their first token, then play out an Innocence. We could bounce their token, but bouncing the Innocence might be better, as that will take up most of their turn to replay it. We draw a talent, and that could be amazing. We could get back our stock up for a second go. He's great at making token copies of our stuff, but he also makes three token men.
Land without law. Cunning.
We'll follow up with our talent and get an otter token as well.
Always have a trick handy.
They play out a doll shop, but those toy tokens are likely going to end up blocking. Their might comes in, and we'll block up with our dear friend. It's time to stock up. This is an amazing set of cards. I want all of them. We'll start with the land and we'll take the synthesizer. It'll give us another couple of looks and we have a 3 steps ahead to copy it with. On top we have double cornucopia. Those are fine. That's a robot overlord every turn and will increase our mana as well. Loko can turn into a copy of one of our dear friends and we can get in for damages.
You're falling behind.
They replay their innocence, but notably haven't dropped another land. They send in their might and will block up. I don't see how they can possibly get ahead. Their own hive is shrinking their life total, and we're about to start to pressure with robot overlords. We'll play out the Horn of Plenty, and we'll even have mana to be able to make a token copy of our factory. It's not a good day to be a kettle. Loko and the otter token is half their life total. Let's get in there. I know. It's probably suspicious passing with 4 mana up, which is what we need in order to level up the talent, but they might not see our duplication coming. They go for an authority, and that could jam up the works with some life gain for them. Let's copy up before it lands, and we'll get another robot overlord. On top, we have our Horn of Plenty and an Aetherize. We'll gladly keep both. They fire off a split up, but the joke's on them. We can rebuild our board much faster and easier than they can. It's time for our 3rd Cornucopia, and we'll follow up with taking our talent to level 2. Let's take Loko up a notch, and those are cards I don't want to toss, but we want the stock up and Doppelgang. Loko gets to smash face as a robot overlord. We know which side he's on, don't we? Damages, bro. Damages. Now they're going to need another split up. Life is tough. Sometimes you thrive by the hive, and sometimes you dive by the hive. Alright, they have 1 blocker, but then they double down on the card that hasn't been working for them. Play out all your hives, bro. That would show me and my cruel mouth. We only have the mana for 2, but that will be enough to open their eyeballs to the trouble they're in. Say hello to my little friends. All hail our robot overlords. We got them back over 20 life, but we're fixing to take it all away when Loko joins our AI men on the march. Let's smack that life back down. No, wait, their pants exploded. GG's, extra cheese. This is Zoo Backy. Sometimes he throws his backy out and he has to wheelchair it to the bathroom. We get a solid 4-lander with a Synthesizer, a Cornucopia, and a Season. 'Tis the season for keeping this hand. They play out a Collector's Vault, so Reanimator then. Our pants are sturdy. We can take it. We draw a scry land and we'll play it out. I bet there's a land under the Virtue. 'Tis the season for sending this Virtue to the bottom. They go for a Vessel, and it's Demon Reanimator then. They couldn't decide on one strategy, so they merged 2 decks into one. We draw an Aetherize, which will be great when they throw their demon tokens at us. It's time to synthesize, and on top, we have Loko and a bounce. We'll take both. Loko and the season we have in hand are perfect for each other. We'll draw the bounce first, since Loko will be coming down after the season anyways. It's time for the Horn of Plenty to get in there. We'll get our first robot overlord, and we'll have the mana for our season. They throw out an Odin with their Vault activation, no surprise there. We'll save up our bounce for any hijinks because we know trickery is coming. They hit our robot overlord with a removal, but that's fine. We've got a pile of those coming. They play out an annex. Once again, they had the mana to play out the ritual chamber, but poop it instead. Tide gets the stains out, bro. We'll play out the season, and we still have a mana left to be able to hit their reanimated guy with bounce. They vault again, but at this point, that's rather useless. I mean, they have 7 mana now, and that's enough to hardcast whatever they're trying to reanimate. Just hardcast your stuff, bro. Oh no, there's their reanimation. Watch me not tremble in my boots. They get back there, Arden. That's really nice, bro. But it's too bad we have this. Too bad for you. We even draw a stock up. We'll be able to fire it off after we let Oko off the chain. Bear witness to the AI that are coming to take over. We're easily going to end up with a pile of robot overlords. On top, we have another synthesizer and a land. We'll ship the land. Not that it matters, this game is over. They give us the GGs. Yeah, I agree, it's over. That's 80 robot overlords. They're going to need a sweeper every turn, but I don't think they're packing a single one. We'll take the synthesizer and the Doppelgang. Although we can only doppel for 2, we can copy Oko and get a fresh token copy. So sick. It's going to make the opponent lock themselves in the bathroom for days.
This will make things more exciting.
Their combo kills one of our men, our combo kills the opponent. Smell the cheese, bro. And that, my friends, is another very satisfied customer.